Hey guys, F5 Metal here, ready to delve into my first metal album with 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge by My Chemical Romance. Thanks to this viewer and commenter, I was able to experience this album for the first time, and if you want to leave your suggestions for albums for me to review, please leave them below in the comments. I've got a very lengthy list to do, so I need to lock in. Starting off in track 1, Helena, we get an impressive guitar riff into stretched out, almost hoarse, impressive vocals. We started with the lyrics talking about how this person fires up or turns on everyone around her, but ends up dying, breaking the protagonist's heart. In the chorus, the vocalist croons about how she's going to be dead, and he's going to stay right where he is, away from her and trying not to miss her. Overall, this track sets the tone for the rest of the album and really impresses you right off the bat. Give 'Em Hell Kid, the second track, continues our death story with talking about how the protagonist really misses his girl after she dies and starts to wreak havoc. Apparently, he made a deal with the devil where if he kills 1,000 evil men, he'll be able to see her again. In my opinion, that's still evil in itself because an evil person could probably turn his life around, but I'm going to review this with an open mind. The chorus here is really good, but I'm not quite in love with the verses here. They do their job in continuing the story, but they don't really rhyme, and I don't love the wordplay and tone of it as well. Overall, still a decent track. To the End is more versatile with its verses, while still remaining a great, ribbity, and grunging chorus. The second verse gives us a good description of the girl that is gone. He says that she spends lots of money and used it to flex on happy people. The chorus and first verse talk about how the main vocalist goes to a wedding to crash it and rack up more murders towards his goal for 1,000. The fourth track sort of strays away from the normal tone of the album at first, beginning with more poppy-like instrumentals and vocals, but soon enough we get back into the heavy metal, screechy vocals. Lyrics here are also good, really delivering the story to the listener. In the beginning, the protagonist gets arrested, but believes that no group of cops can stop him from waging this war on his faith in her, which I think is a really good line. He goes to prison and starts going through the average prisoner emotions, doing push-ups, missing his mom, worried about getting the chair. The vocalist also begins to question his sexuality, beginning to fall for another male inmate. Clearly, there's a lot going through the vocalist's head right now. I'm Not Okay has weaker and shorter verse game here, apparently switching sides of the story to talk about a girl's problems, like her boyfriend sharing her photos, but the chorus and the instrumentals here are once again phenomenal. I feel like that's a main theme of this album. Amazing choruses and instrumentals, and anywhere from amazing to meh verses. The regret, anger, and total grief shine apparent on the Ghost of You. Apparently, his lover ended up dying in the lead singer's arms, and he realizes that even though he tried to wait forever to once see again his loved one, she'll never come back from the grave. He thinks about joining her, but doesn't end up doing it at the end. That track transitions right into The Jet Set Life Is Gonna Kill You, which once again has amazing vocals and some decent chorus game here. But I have to say, I didn't like it when they tried the whole computer underwater thing with the vocals. It didn't really click for me. This is just another song about maybe joining her, is what I thought at first, but apparently it's also talking about one of the band's members' old, frequent drug addiction, which he got over, but almost did up killing him, hence the track name. Thank You for the Venom goes back into the album's main story and talks about taking lives to someday reach 1,000 murders and get to see his lover again. Overall, this album has a very dark story, especially with all the substance mentioned in this track. Moving into It's Not a Death Wish, It's a Fashion Statement, the vocalist talks about how his relationship with this woman was actually pretty hard. He says things like, "You told me this would get harder, well it did, and from the razor to the rosary, we could lose ourselves." The vocals on this track as well as the lyrics really shine here. Cemetery Drive tells the story from the protagonist's lover's side, where I finally learned that she died from herself. Man, this album is dark. But at the same time, I think this track does a really good job of highlighting what her experience was like with her lover. She mentions listening to depressive music, drinking with him, and the love-hate relationship they had. She also mentions loving him though, and missing him even after her untimely demise. The final track, I Never Told You What I Do for a Living, really brings us right back into the main story and wraps it up, saying that he's caused more stains on the sheets of clothes that will never come out. After committing 999 murders, he realizes that the only evil man he has left to kill is himself, and he can't be reunited with his lover anymore. Kind of leaves you off with the fact that the devil tricked him and can't be trusted, and how 2 wrongs really don't make a right. I do like the ending here, and it kind of lightens my opinion on this one a little bit. But surprise! There's a secret track with lots of extra screaming. It's mostly just summing up the story for the listener, saying that protagonist has been looking to end people and sleeping in alleys. Makes sense to why this is a secret track, as while it does sum up decently the album, I feel like the lyrics and vocals aren't really as impressive and professional as the rest of the album. Overall, My Chemical Romance brought many good choruses and vocals to the table. While I don't really like the story of the album, and I feel like it's a bit inconsistent, like how it never really explains how he gets out of prison after doing such horrendous crimes, but at the same time, it also bounces around to flashbacks to different points of view throughout the story of the album. I feel like the first half of the album is also a lot better than the rest. A lot better vocals, better choruses, and at times verses. But the two halves are also very different in their own right, so I could see someone having an opinion that the second half was better. Overall, good album. I'm thinking a 7 on this one. You can like and subscribe to the video if you want to, but you don't have to. If you want to check out more of my album reviews, they should be over here. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, which we need to hit 500 before the end of my summer vacation in about 2 months, you can click right here. Thanks for watching.